We will welcome in our guest for this hour, joining us, litigation trial attorney Rich Schoenstein. Rich, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining the judge and I here on the show. And I just want to get your reaction, because as I said, just listening to, and you know, we listen to this kind of stuff on a fairly regular basis, but still listening to some of these injuries, still don't have a sense of when they occurred, if she was alive or dead or whatever, but just the type of injuries, just the gruesome nature of it, the fact that it happened to children, all this has truly been devastating. I imagine it's having the same effect on the jury.
Oh, it has to, Judge and Michael. I mean, think about this. They killed 2 children. They dismembered the bodies. Then they tried to incinerate the dismembered bodies, presumably to get rid of the evidence. And when that failed, when that didn't work, they buried the remains in a pet cemetery. These crimes shock the conscious. They are appalling. They are among the worst things we have ever seen on this station watching these trials. And the jury is going to be wanting to punish somebody if they can for these horrible acts. I want to see somebody punished for these horrible acts, and I'm sure the jury does too.
And the logical choice, of course, is the mom, someone who I can remember the testimony regarding the phone calls surrounding the times that both Tylee and JJ disappeared, Judge. And, you know, just the activity from early in the morning, we're talking 2, 3 in the morning, all throughout the afternoon at the times that the police believe, or the last time either one was seen, and then when police believe these things happen, they're all talking on the phone. I mean, you don't know what they're talking about, but boy, it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good, but it's circumstantial evidence. And we don't have any evidence that we've heard of yet that does connect her to the scene where these bodies were found. And so I do worry, Rich, and I'd like your opinion. I worry simply because it feels like she had to have been involved, right? But that doesn't convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt. I may feel that, but who cares? It's the evidence presented to the jury, and juries are smart. Is there an opportunity, if the state cannot put her there at the scene, connect her somehow via blood or some type of evidence, that they may not convict her of murder?
I worry about it too, Judge. You know, there's no blood on her hands. She wasn't at the scene. They can't say she did this. It is a circumstantial conspiracy case. The prosecution is trying to build it brick by brick, closing her in on her motive and her conduct after the murders, her consciousness of guilt, because, you know, let's face it, they're killed and they're being buried, and she's off on vacation. That is shocking and very strong evidence. And the prosecution is just trying to put it all together so that the jury has no other conclusion but that she was part of this. Well, it is tough to do.
It is tough. I did not mean to interrupt you. Apologies. But what I can't help but mention is her demeanor from the beginning of this. We heard the tapes where the sister, Summer, is devastated and really screaming at her about, tell me what happened. Where are these kids? You were off in Hawaii getting married. And Lori Vallow Daybell just stays calm. I can't tell you. We don't ever see her react emotionally to anything that's happened to her children. And Michael, that feels again to me like she had to have been involved. How can you not react to this? It's your children.
Yeah, especially when you hear them talking about the fact that she mentioned in order to get rid of these demons, you had to burn someone under certain circumstances. And then we find out that's what happened to Tylee. Again, those are the things that circumstantially begin to connect her to the crime. And then you add to the fact that she lied to so many people about what was going on with these children. You have to question whether she truly believed that what was happening to them was what needed to happen based on her beliefs about the zombies and possessions. But here's my question for you, Rich. A lot of people I hear on our air and in various places online talking about she has to take the stand because she's going to throw him under the bus. She's going to say she was under the influence. There has been nothing in this trial. And what we do here is we watch the cross-examinations to get a sense of what the defense might do. There's nothing in their questioning that suggests they are going to go after Chad in any way. And I've seen other cases involving cults, and they're very serious about that type of thing, that their beliefs are their beliefs. They're not blaming anybody else. This is the way it's supposed to be. Do you think at some point she will try to put him under the bus, whether she takes the stand or not?
So the judge and I were just talking about whether a defendant should take the stand in another case, and it in part depends on what she would be like as a witness. Only her attorneys know that. But from what I'm seeing, I wouldn't put her on the stand in a million years. The defense's only out here is to treat this as a reasonable doubt case and to challenge the sufficiency of the prosecution's case. Putting her on the stand, there's so much ammunition to cross-examine her about. It seems like she's an unstable personality. I can't imagine that going well at all. I would be very hesitant to put her on the stand.
And I know we've all talked about this a little bit, but the other odd thing to me is she does seem at peace. That piggybacks on something you said, Michael, about believing this is the way it was supposed to be. She just rather seems like she is accepting and okay with everything that's happened. I know we're going to talk about this case a lot more. We do have to take a break.